Imagine a vast river of thoughts, a powerful current that carries the entire population of our planet. It sweeps us all along, and we find ourselves holding on to these thoughts, letting them define our existence. But in the middle of this relentless flow, there is a rare gem of a thought. I want to be free. This thought, my friends, is as rare as a precious stone, and out of almost 8 billion beings on Earth, only a mere handful think it. I call this precious gem freedom, the act of swimming against the current and heading towards the source. It's about embracing life's offerings, finding joy in them, and ultimately being happy. When you are free to be happy, your happiness spreads throughout the world, touching the hearts of others. In the same way, when you suffer, the world suffers with you. So your responsibility, my friends, is to remain happy, to be at peace, to radiate light, wisdom, and awareness. To discover this lasting joy, we must look in the right direction. It will not be found in any external object, for they all come, remain, and eventually disappear. For what changes is not real, and what is real remains unchanged. When we search externally, it's as if we were treasure collectors, looking for our next conquest. So don't tie your happiness to external things, be they people, the sun, the moon, or the stars. Stop the habit of seeking external objects for your satisfaction. Stop your mind wandering outwards in all directions. Instead, turn inward to rediscover your inner beauty, the very essence of your being, the eternal source of happiness. When we tie our happiness to something conditional, we are actually deceiving ourselves. We create a series of expectations and desires, woven with fragile threads that easily unravel when circumstances change. External conditions, be they relationships, material achievements, or recognition, become the puppets that control our joy, moving with the wind of change. But true happiness is not a puppet. It is a constant flame that shines in our deepest being. It is the divine spark that dwells in all of us, waiting patiently to be recognized and nurtured. It is a deep dive into our own hearts and souls, a process of self-reflection and self-discovery. It requires courage to look beyond the illusions created by the ego and confront the reality that conditional happiness is fleeting, like the clouds that pass through the sky. So how can we free ourselves from this illusion of happiness? The way is to recognize that true and lasting happiness does not depend on external conditions. It is an intrinsic quality of our being, accessible to us at all times, no matter what our circumstances are. Think about it. Happiness is not something we need to acquire or achieve. It's something we need to rediscover within ourselves. It's not an external destination, but an internal state of being. It's not a reward for our efforts, but a natural right of our existence. First of all, seek inner peace. Inner peace has no single definition that fits everyone. There is no fixed process or obligatory steps to follow in order to find your tranquility. Actually, this inner, compassionate, and profound peace is within each person. It's as if we had a deep reservoir of peace and serenity within us. What we have to learn to do is tap into it. When you find this peace within yourself, it spreads like a ray of light, illuminating everything around you. But remember, you are not alone on this journey. Many people are bound by the shackles of external desires, so this is not unique to you. If one of these desires brings you joy and serenity, then allow yourself to embrace it, because perhaps it's not yet time to let go. But if you feel that these desires are like poisonous snakes, biting and poisoning your soul, then it's time to let them go. There's no point in repeating what you've already experienced. Remember, if you already know that fire burns, you don't need to burn yourself again. So stay away from the desires that burned you in the past. When your happiness is conditional on something or someone, you're just fooling yourself, creating illusions. No one can really give you happiness or peace except your own inner being. All true happiness emanates from your inner being. The secret to finding this happiness is in stopping the incessant search, calming your thoughts, quieting your mind, and finding yourself in the silence. When peace dwells in your mind, you will recognize it in all the beings around you. On the other hand, if your mind is in turmoil, you'll find turmoil everywhere. So start the journey of peace from within yourself, and you will soon notice the profound serenity reflected in all things. You, my friends, are that peace you so much seek. You are the very happiness you long to find. Where else could peace reside if not within your own being? The mind sometimes casts doubts, fears, and worries, keeping you oblivious to what is beyond it. It often tries to deceive you because it resists the silence like a restless child. Thus, true consciousness resides beyond the mind. However, it is precisely in this silence that the mind can be tamed. Just don't start thinking, just stop thinking. When thoughts don't dominate, you don't need to do anything else. Silence is enough. But don't try too hard not to think. Let thoughts come and go by themselves, like clouds in the sky. Your only task is to remain in stillness. You are the truth that is beyond any thought, concept, or conditioning. You don't need to hunt for this true peace. It's not hidden somewhere. But then, what happens when you stop looking? You'll discover that you don't need to go anywhere to find your true self. All you need to do is stop the frenzy of the mind, and then you'll be here, in the present. Do an exercise in self-reflection. Who owns this body? Who owns the mind, the intellect, the memories? Who are you, the one to whom all these things belong? We often identify with the thoughts and beliefs that populate our minds. We say, I am this, or I am that, as if our identity were a fixed entity. The I to which we cling is, in reality, a dynamic construction influenced by the flow of thoughts and experiences. Remember, all problems, sadness, and suffering originate in the mind. Avoid wandering into the past because the past is a labyrinth of the mind. The mind is the past, and the past is a cemetery of memories, so don't get lost in it. When thoughts arise, be indifferent to them. Stay in silence, because that's where true awareness resides, awareness of oneself, beyond the torments of the mind. Don't just repeat my words. Immerse yourself in this experience. Where are you right now? Are you the being now? Just be the being. There's no need to understand. When you try to understand, the mind activates, and that mental activity is like doing something. It's an action, and that action takes you in the wrong direction. So, who is walking the path towards freedom? Free yourself from the concept of, I am a body separate from the source, because everything is the being. The only difference between you and me are the words and concepts of you and me. The being in you is the same being in all beings. The source of everything is the same, and that is being. That is love and compassion. That ocean of eternal peace is you. So what is the difficulty we face? It's that we look for peace elsewhere, when we don't realize that we are peace itself personified. For example, when someone laughs, there is no thought, no mind, no suffering. So laugh at all your problems. Relax without intention, just be present. The mind must investigate its own origin. The I must turn to its source. This is true meditation. That's why it's so important to be careful, to be vigilant. Always be aware of what emanates from the mind and the happiness that emanates from the self. Through self-awareness and mindfulness, we can begin to unravel the threads of the conditioned thought patterns and beliefs that have kept us stuck. With each thread we release, we get closer to the truth of our being, closer to the liberation we seek. The mind's game is to keep us immersed in the darkness of the past, trapped in time. But remember, where there is no mind, there is no time. That is the fundamental truth. Even without thinking, you are already part of it. The habit of thinking, of doing something, is the only barrier we face. So give yourself just one moment, just 1 second, without doing anything, without thinking, without forcing anything. And then watch what happens. Stop, just stop everything. And you'll realize that you already have that freedom you've been looking for. To live in truth is to live in the simplicity of this present moment. Be serene, and this serenity will spread throughout your entire being. When you are truly present in the now, in the present, the attachment to desires fades away. In the same way, you will only be truly present when you renounce all desires, including the desire to be here. So let go of all desires to be here, there or anywhere. Let go of the desire for this and that. Leave all desires behind. The mind is the one that prefers one state and rejects another. But ask yourself, who is experiencing these states and creating distinctions between them? Who is generating these differences? Saying one is good and the other is bad, who sees this duality? Question the origin of the mind where these divisions come from. Go deeper and you will find the source, the absolute silence. Deep down, you know that you need the past and thoughts to suffer, but to be free, you don't need anything at all. All you need is to direct your attention to your inner being, away from temporal objects. What you are is always present. Don't confuse yourself with the reflection in the mirror. If you simply observe, you'll realize that problems simply don't exist. And think about it, this world is an illusion. Under every wave is the vast ocean. Under every name is the foundation. And behind every appearance, you are there. If you don't forget who you really are, everything in this cosmic dance takes on a new meaning. Always remember that there is no escaping love. Peace and freedom have no direction, no cardinal point. No matter where you go, they are always within you. Don't shy away from the activities of the world. Just remain constantly aware that I am being. Remain as the screen on which all activities are projected, and in all these activities remain silent. And know you are at home. That is your mission, to find peace in inner silence. The inner journey is not a solitary one. It is a shared exploration of our interconnectedness with all of life. As we navigate the currents of our inner world, we must extend the hand of compassion to our fellow travelers on this path. By supporting each other, we reinforce the understanding that we are not alone, but part of a greater whole. In the end, the quest for freedom, happiness, and self-realization is a journey back into our own hearts, a rediscovery of the infinite source of wisdom and love that resides within each of us. It's a return to the source, a reunion with our true selves. And in this reunion, we find the peace, joy, and freedom we have always sought. As we come to the end of this video, I invite you to pause and reflect on your own life's journey. Ask yourself, where have I been looking for my happiness? Is it conditional on something or someone? I hope today's video helps you in some way, not just to find peace, happiness, and freedom, but to let you know the power you have, who you are, and what you are capable of. If you're looking for all these things, try what I've explained in this video. I don't want you to simply believe what I've said, just try it. Remember to take a moment for true introspection so that you can get to know yourself better, empty your mind, be present, and have more clarity. Thank you for embarking on this journey with me. If this video resonated with you, I invite you to like and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with others so they can benefit from this message. And don't forget to leave a comment below sharing your thoughts, reflections, and experiences. Thanks again for watching and for joining me. Take care and see you soon.